Welcome back to the only Amazing Race 25 recap podcast with a seal of approval, the UR Team Number Facebook group podcast. My name is Michael Harmstone, and I'm joined as ever by the one Canadian who isn't worried to climb a greasy pole. It's Logan Saunders.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Logan. Oh, good evening, as it is for me. If you want to get in contact with us during the next hour, you can post comments on the YouTube channel if you're watching down there. There's a Q&A on the Google Plus page, or you can get your opinions in on the Facebook group, which is linked in the video description. Alternatively, Twitter's using the hashtag yatncast, which you can see whenever I speak. And just as a warning, we are going to be covering an episode that only appeared in certain countries this past Friday, and they I believe are doing a 2-minute recap before the Singapore episode next week on CBS. So if you don't want to know spoilers, you might as well just skip this one. Just as
Which
a warning.
countries did this air in, by the way?
I know for a fact that it was on Netflix Gold Premium Plus, which is only available in the UK, Australia, Canada, and Malaysia at the moment. But as I pointed out on the Amazing Race 24/7 group, you can petition Netflix to try and bring it to your country next. But I'm not sure which country they aired live.
I should really. Thankfully, I just signed up for that a month ago, so I was able to gain access to it. So it was good timing on my part.
Yeah, it's only about 1% of people in the world who can access Netflix Gold Premium Plus, I believe. So we're the lucky ones, yay!
Yeah, it's really expensive, by the way. Not sure if it's that worth it, but yeah, it really is Gold Premium Plus. They're not playing around with that name for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the even more expensive one is Netflix Platinum Premium Plus, or NPPP.
Oh, holy crap, man. Only like doctors and lawyers and presidents can afford that.
Hmm. Anyway, should we get into the episode? Because it was a busy old episode.
Yeah, it was, there was quite the. They had a weird Beatles reference at the start of the episode when they traveled to Malta. Do you catch that?
with the Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, they traveled from Sicily to Malta by a yellow submarine. I remember in Celebrity Mole Hawaii that they had that submarine charades task where Stephen Baldwin couldn't figure out that the answer was American Beauty, much to Corbin Burnson's frustration. But here we are, a little over 10 years later, and the submarine has been brought back in reality television.
That was the coughing game, wasn't it?
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was. My knowledge of Celebrity Mole isn't as good as my knowledge of Normal Mole, but it's up there.
What'd you call it? The copying game?
The coffin game.
We call it charades here.
Yeah, coffin. It was coffin charades, wasn't it? Because didn't they have to dig up coffins
Yeah.
to find the?
Oh yeah, that
King's
too. I
Landing?
forgot the other half of it. You
Yeah.
are right.
We do
Who
call
killed Kenny?
we do call it charades as well. We're not that ahead of you guys.
Tap versus faucet and coughing versus charades.
And washroom versus toilet or bathroom.
Yes. Although a game of charades can be pretty deadly and make you wish you were in a coffin at times if you have a crappy partner for it.
Yeah, not as deadly as Cards Against Humanity though. Which I should have brought to Canada with me because with my family that would have been a horrendously bad idea.
Yeah, for sure. Cards Against Humanity is not a family-friendly game.
Oh no, but it is right next to me at the moment. So, as Logan said, teams travelled from Palermo, Sicily to Valletta in Malta via Yellow Submarine, which was, of course, put on for them. And then we headed straight into the roadblock. The roadblock clue was Who Wants to Have a Laugh? Unless you were
Yeah, I guess they couldn't afford two submarines, eh?
No.
They all were equalized onto one?
Yeah, I mean, they're only, an hour difference between the first and last team anyway, so it's not that big a difference, really.
Yeah, they were pretty close together.
But yeah, unless you were Tim and TJ, they had their speed bump, which, as you might have noticed in the intro, was climbing a greasy pole to grab flags, which, of course, Phil loved when they
Yeah,
finally got some footage back.
He was right there when the speed bump was going on. He was in his on-air reporter mode like he has been in previous weeks.
Yeah,
I think it's the first time he's been on site for a speed bump, if I recall correctly.
we went from Tim and TJ climbing a greasy pole to seeing Phil's greasy pole. So,
Yeah.
oh, I'm
Well, that's for
there.
later on. So we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Oh, so many puns in a little time.
Yeah. Alan Wu would love this episode.
Oh, he would. And we, as I mentioned in the intro, we are the only podcast with a seal of approval, which has endorsed us, which is awesome.
Yeah. I can't wait for if we ever get a chance to talk to Mr. Wu himself, because we all know how big of fans we are of him. And I think there was a poll recently that asked who your favorite host was, and only me, you, and Ben said Alan Wu was their favorite, while everybody else went with the stock answer of Phil Kogan for 76%, and I think John got about 15%, and then Wu got from the votes from the three of us, and then I think Muller got 2 votes. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a picture of Alan Wu and a seal.
No, it's a seal of approval, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Alan Wu wasn't an option, I would have probably gone for Grant Bowler just for the lulz.
Yes. Unless you thought back since it was a mole was the best mole host poll, but I think there have been a lot fewer people voting.
Yeah, obviously, because nobody on Amazing Race 24/7 has seen the mole, apart from
But
us.
a couple have seen The Big Adventure somehow, which is a travesty.
Lucky them. Almost certainly going to get cancelled. I'm waiting for the ratings for last night's episode, but last week it was about 450,000, I think, which is abysmal.
What's the passable number for an Australian TV show?
About 1 million.
Oh, so
yeah.
As Rupert would say, not good.
No, not good.
We're getting really off topic here, so let's get back to the episode here. So they had at the first route marker, they had the speed bump and the roadblock at the same location. Do we know what the name of that location was at all? I forgot to write it down in my notes.
I'll just see and quickly load up Wikin. I'm sure they'll tell me. It was St. Lawrence's Oratory.
Right.
Yes. And yep, teams had to, or one team member was the lucky one who had to survive laughing gas whilst putting a puzzle together.
I can't believe they made that into a task. I'm pretty sure some proof of that one.
Well, life on the Amazing Race is a gas, officially.
Yeah. Just like Survivor San Juan del Sur with the last episode there. I can't believe that there is a whole discussion surrounding flagellants in Survivor. It took 29 seasons, but it finally got there. And with Amazing Race, they take the higher road in terms of dealing with gas.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate this season as much as most people do in terms of Survivor, but yeah, it's not as good as last season. 100%.
Yeah, I'm not as much hating for this season as well. It's just that the boot order has just been pretty crappy, and the do idea was horrendous. Those are really the only two majors for the season, and the fact that we have John and Jacqueline in power, who are just two of the least rootable people I think we've had on Survivor in quite some time.
I mean, obviously, any boot order that has either Twinny going first is going to be a terrible one. Because, oh my god, you idiots for voting them off.
And the other one now has an invisible edit.
Yeah, at least Natalie's surviving.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see, at least.
Maybe she just doesn't stop talking about her CrossFit classes. Maybe that's why she doesn't get shown that much, and producers are punishing her for it now.
Oh my god, you idiots! Why are you not crossfitting with me? So, we got to see Misty doing the roadblock, which, as a dentist, she should be used to laughing gas.
Mm-hmm.
as well as Kim, Bethany. Oh my God, I'm laughing, guys.
Even last inflections, amusements. Now we have to do impersonations, not for just Bethany doing her inflections, but now inflections of her own laughing gas.
Exactly. And of course, Brooke and Amy doing the laughing gas roadblock as well.
Hmm.
Before Tim and TJ
Yeah,
got
for once it was neat to see Brooke not in such a super serious mood. At least she's a bit more subdued than usual.
yeah, well, they were all laughing a lot at least, if nothing else. But I think
Yeah,
that was
it's
probably
like the
important.
Foreman basement is on the Amazing Race.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
that '70s show reference.
after the roadblock, teams had to. I got the detailed clue, which was a choice between glass and ass. And in glass, teams must transport a tray of glasses each and then juggle with them at a restaurant to the satisfaction of the judge to receive their next clue. And in ass, teams must take a donkey across a mile-long course across Malta to receive their next clue, loaded with goods, of course.
Was was this the first time that a detour choice involved a mild curse word?
Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, I don't remember
Yeah, they're
them
making a
really.
lot of changes for Char 25 here. A lot of firsts ever since the beginning, the public starting line, and yeah, and then we got this detour choice.
Yeah,
The
glass or ass.
donkeys were a bit more cooperative than usual.
They were. I mean,
I think, well, there's that one really mean donkey in the episode, but the other five were all really mild mannered compared to what we've seen in past seasons.
I know we had
There's maybe because Nathan and Jennifer weren't around.
yeah, we had the Shetland ponies in the Shetland Islands as well. So that they are loving the ass at the
Hmm.
moment.
Hmm. I
At
remember
least,
there's a horse task in Morocco, so a big animal theme season, as Brian Kleinschmidt from Amazing Race 15 would say.
exactly. I mean, is this pointing at a potential memory challenge? I know we've already kind of had animals as the memory challenge, but Tar 3 doesn't really count with that.
Yeah, that one was really easy. That only took like 20 seconds to solve. It was, hey, there's four animals. Put them in the correct order. A kindergartner could do that. A kindergartner.
Exactly. But at least we might be getting a proper animal task this season. That'll be nice for them.
Hmm. Instead of fixing lights at the Bellagio.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
the Mirage. Sorry, the Mirage.
Yeah, screwing light bulbs in.
Hmm. More
Screw.
like screw that task.
Exactly. Zing.
The Zingbot's identity has been revealed.
Props.
Mm.
I actually have a Zingbot overlay. Come to think of it, where is it? There it is. Zingbot with Ben Spirit Animal Kathy Griffin there. And we're back to the mall. Yes!
Hey, Celebrity Mo Hawaii reference again. You win, Michael.
Well, to be fair,
You win a submarine.
it's better than the actual prize they gave out this Lego of Kodak EasyJet cameras.
I know they just remade them. I think didn't Kodak merge with Nokia or IKEA or something like that? One of those big Nordic companies that you hear of.
Pretty sure Nokia isn't Nordic, but yeah. In fact, I know Nokia is not Nordic. Japanese.
Isn't Nokia from Isn't Nokia Finnish?
Uh,
Isn't it a Finnish company?
yeah, it's actually. I'm thinking of something else, Anna. What an idiot.
You're thinking of Nintendo?
Probably. On that
So yeah,
subject,
so
how are you finding the Mario Kart 8 DLC?
uh, slightly disappointed, but it's still neat. I just wish they did a bit more with it. It wasn't as creative as it could have been.
The integration with Hyrule Circuit though, and all the Zelda stuff is awesome. I mean, I just played it and went,
Yeah, but it's only one track. They should have had a whole cup of Zelda tracks.
yeah, but I'm hoping when we get the Animal Crossing DLC that instead of Monty Moles, we get Mr. Rossetti coming out of the ground. That would be fun as
That
hell.
is true. They should definitely do that.
And of course, bags of bells instead of coins and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, they could totally do that.
See, I'm thinking about this already.
hmm And what's the other cup that they're supposed to have for it?
Um, it's the Egg Cup and Triforce Cup, and then the New Leaf Cup, what I'm assuming it's going to be called the New Leaf Cup, and the other one that I can't remember. To Wiki. Uh, what's it called? I, I know it and I can't think about it. I can't think of what it is. It's the Bell Cup, of course. The Cat Bell.
Hmm. Right. You gotta have more cat bill, as Christopher Walken would say. He has a prescription for it.
Needs more
It's the
Cat Bell.
only thing that can fill that prescription
Yeah,
is
needs
more cow.
more Cat Bell. So we had Bethany, of course, acing the juggling task, as you would expect,
hmm
as well as Misty and Jim dealing with the ass. Kim and Ali did ass as well. Tim and TJ eventually chose glass. Brooke and Robbie also chose glass, and Amy and Maya stormed at the glass task as well.
hmm
And it was a
Yeah, they got. Who was first out of there? It was Bethany, or
no, it was the
Bethany was
cyclist.
first out, right?
It was the cyclist
Oh,
and
oh.
Amy and Maya.
Hmm.
Adam and Bethany struggled at the detour, sadly. They had to use the express pass because she can't juggle.
Right.
Um, and Jim and Misty obviously sucked again, but this time managed to stumble upon an elimination leg and having to use the save. And once
Oh yeah. Jim and Misty really dropped the ball on this one.
once teams finished the detour, they were sent to Fort Manuel, which is the pit stop for this leg of the race. The last team to check
hmm
here will be eliminated unless you're Jim and Misty.
hmm
And of
That
course,
that the save is so ridiculous overall. They've
yeah,
been able to finish a last twice now without any sort of repercussions.
at least it actually got used, unlike what we thought.
hmm
And of course, when introducing the pit stop, we found out that Bono was going to be the greeter.
Yeah, it's and of course, what was was there any other prizes beside the Kodak Easy Share digital cameras, or was that
No,
it for the prizes?
no, I think they were being a bit cheap this leg. Travelocity
Yeah.
couldn't support a prize,
hmm
and it was a foot race between Emmy and Maya and the cyclists for first place, and they both got a surprise as it was Naked Phil.
Yeah, that was well. Was that an active route-in that teams had to partake in before the pit stop?
He,
I can't quite remember
he literally pulled a full Monty.
because it was a switchback to Amazing Race 14 that they were talking about. I think in one of the press releases, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, he literally went the full Monty to use an Amazing Race Canada term.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh, the torch has been carried from John Monty to Phil Kogan. I mean, how is Alan Will going to top both of them now?
To be fair, I saw a picture of him dressed as Aladdin, so he looks like he's willing to dress up as anything as well.
Or lack of dressing up as anything now that we've seen John Montgomery and Phil Kogan.
Well, yeah.
They're in the same boat as Jeff Probst now, with Jeff Probst's infamous pictures on the internet.
As well as him subverting it with his appearance on Two and a Half Men.
Yeah, I sort of wanted to leave that part out just because Two and a Half Men is pretty terrible.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as Big Bang Theory.
They are the two worst shows on
Ugh.
CBS.
I've been to their set as well, and
Was
yeah,
it boring?
oh yeah,
Was there remnants of Charlie Sheen's cocaine stash throughout the set?
well, Big Bang Theory, I mean, rather than Two and a Half Men. But yeah, there was nothing there basically, just the basic sets, and me not really caring at all about Big Bang Theory. It probably wasn't worthwhile for me. But the rest of the Warner Brothers tour was awesome.
Mhm. Do you see the set for Survivor also in that same area?
Yep, because it is filmed in LA. Fact.
Yep. Got to see the Borneo set and the Australian Outback set. It's surprising that they can fit as many as they can. Do they reuse the same set every season?
I mean, I've no idea how they managed to recreate Jellyfish Lake.
Well, that's only why they've only had it twice. Because
Yeah.
the budget would have to be pretty high to pull those special effects off in CGI.
So Amy and Maya managed to win the foot race, and it was
And the camera.
yeah, and
And
the cameras.
the camera.
It was Amy and Maya in sorry, Kim and Ali in second place with Tim and
Another second
TJ.
place finish for them.
Tim and TJ completing the speed bump in
Always the
third.
bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, Tim and TJ in third. Fourth was Brooke and Robbie. Fifth was Adam and Bethany once they used their express pass, and Jim and Misty survived again because of the save.
You know, which task did Adam and Bethany skip using their express pass?
It was glass because they got there and realised
Right,
that
the you two were
obviously she wouldn't be
juggling.
able to juggle.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I
So
wanted to use the express pass anyway, so it was a really good strategy on their part.
yeah, it was this leg they had to use it. So
Hmm.
um,
And then Jim and Misty had to use their save as well. It was quite the exciting leg. I'm amazed that Tim and TJ were able to overcome the speed bump and pass those two teams who have done well over these.
it's benefit of picking a good detail though, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you pick the right detail for
Um,
yourself, you ace it. And you can get back out of the speed bump zone. So next week looks like an interesting one as well. We get the cup massage finally,
yeah. About time.
as well as Adam and Bethany going for a fast forward by the look of things after their slightly sucky performance this week as well.
Hmm. Express pass and a fast forward. It's almost as big of an advantage as having the save.
It is. Assuming that you go to it unopposed, of course.
Hmm.
Which probably not going to happen. Face off.
Yeah, as long as Amy and Maya don't outrun them, they should be able to get to that fast forward. Well,
I
we
still,
see Amy and Maya at the cupping task anyway, so
yeah, I still think it was
yeah.
amazing that Amy and Maya managed to outrun the cyclists, who are basically professional athletes, or the closest thing to professional athletes we've got at the moment.
Well, when you see Amy and Maya, you know that maybe they're not the physically strongest team, but you know that their endurance definitely outweighs Kim and Ali's endurance.
I mean, they're going to
Kim just after a few meters, you know that Kim's just going to be completely burnt out.
be a massive threat with any mental tasks as well, aren't they? They are probably
Hmm.
in the best position to win at the moment.
Yeah, and plus you've been saying that it's been based on their edit too, so
Go us.
yeah, things are looking good for the sweet scientist or hashtag sweet scientist.
I still refuse to acknowledge the hashtags. The only hashtag we'll be having is greasy pole or slippery pole, maybe.
Mhm. I'm surprised they didn't get a screen cap of that.
Yeah, I wasn't really hot on the screen caps this week. Could probably quickly bring one up if I find it.
Hmm.
Nah, too late. Nah, I can't find it.
Mm. Damn it.
Didn't have enough time, sadly. I promise you I will get a picture of the slippery pole for next week.
See to it.
I will hashtag Greasy pole or slippery pole for you. So,
So, any predictions for who goes next week?
well, it's got to be an elimination every week now, hasn't it? I think probably Tim and TJ are probably in trouble. I suspect. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. And the cyclists, you think too?
Mm,
Because yeah, Phil announced that because Jim and Misty used to say that the bottom two teams go next week, so it's got to be Tim and TJ and one other team, we assume.
yeah, I mean, if it's a foot race, then Amy and Maya can probably survive, given their massive amounts of endurance, as we proved this week.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, uh, it is going to be a double elimination plus a fast forward. That's going to be a busy old episode next week for us, isn't it?
And,
So anything else to add?
um, no, I'm big supporter of this Netflix Gold Premium Plus service, and glad to see the episode. And yeah, I'm overall content. Amazing Race 25 is still holding up as a really good season, and it's definitely improving upon the travesty, which is Amazing Race 24 All Stars.
Yeah, all stars in massive inverted commas. So
Mm-hmm.
I think on that note, we will see you next week for another Amazing Race 25 recap podcast from the UR Team Number Facebook group. Uh, don't forget to leave your comments down below and please like the video so we can rise up the rankings and I can stop sounding horrendously needy. And you can hit all of us up on Twitter. If you search yatncast, you should find us. See you next week for the actual proper recap. Bye.
See ya.